is Tuesday. I'm in a different room, I'm filming on a different day than I thought I would, and that's just the beginning of how my week is going. But hello and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. This is a reading vlog that's going to cover the end of October and the first week of November. I just can't think of what dates are at the moment. It's just been a really crazy time for me outside of reading. We'll get to reading in just a moment, but first of all, I just want to say thank you to you all. I finally have a community page. I don't know how this happened. I certainly don't have 500 subscribers, so just thank you, YouTube gods, because somehow I've unlocked a community page. I'm so happy about that, and best believe I'm going to take full advantage. For those of you who don't know, at least up until recently, it was a requirement that you have 500 subscribers in order to unlock a community page, and this is something that I was looking forward to and aspiring and working towards because it would be a great way to stay in contact with you all. Some of you have already recognized my community page, and thank you, and others of you may not, so I'm letting you know here, and hopefully you'll get notifications. I don't know how they work. Usually that's what happens with me. If someone types something into their community page, I get a notification. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. It does, of course, help the channel, but also when you hit that notification bell, hit all, and you should get the community stuff. So I love being involved with all of you, everyone who is viewing my videos, and I love to chat with you guys. So I plan on doing that through the community tab, and recently I put up a poll asking everyone what type of videos you all wanted, and one of the options were longer reading vlogs, and you all kind of came back and said, yes, Mr. Francy, we want longer reading vlogs. So here we go, we're going to do longer ones, which is great for me because I love talking books with you all, and other things as well in a reading vlog. It's good to mix things up, but I like talking more than I normally do, and I usually cut things down because I just felt that you all probably would prefer a shorter video. But hey, if you're up for a longer one, so am I. So thank you for all of your votes. Now, a little later on in the week, you are going to, I'm just working out when things are going up. Right, so tomorrow, at the time of filming, not at the time of watching, at the time of my filming, tomorrow you're going to get my monthly wrap, so you should have already seen that, and you would have already seen, because on this Friday, I'm putting up a new series, which is my SAS list series. I'm going to come to you all every week and give you something to do with my SAS list. And that first video was DNFs and DNSs, books I did not finish, series I did not finish, series I did not start. And then from this week moving forward, so this Friday, Australian time, Australian time, early Friday morning. Anyway, it's all good. We know that I'm Australian. That's fine. I'm going to start talking to you about completed series. So I'm really excited about that. I think I'm going to be doing like 3 series per video, so I can delve even more into those series and take longer than I felt I could take with the first one. So there's that too. Let's talk about work. Oh my gosh, it's been really interesting. So today is a public holiday here in Melbourne. It's a state holiday for the Melbourne Cup, or it was. It's Tuesday night now. And so I got today off. Now, this is not normally the case. Normally at work, we get national public holidays off. So if it's Australia-wide, then we get that day off. But if it's a state public holiday, we're usually working. But because I'm in training at the moment, yes, training is still going, and we'll get to that in a minute. We got today off. So that was nice. As to training, there is so much to take in. I mean, I thought that I was going from one department to another in the field I'm working in with the company I'm working with. And this second department, if you will, has a lot more to do and a lot more to take in. So training has been rather stressful just because there's been so much to take in. But the thing is, as I said, I thought we were going to drop that department and just pick up this one. No. We're going to retain what we learned from this one and learn all of the stuff. And I mean all of the stuff we've learned in this one, put it together, and hey presto. So it's going to be interesting. On Thursday, so Wednesday is, which is tomorrow, is our last day of training, and then on Thursday we jump right in. And then Miss Francy's a little bit nervous, so if you can send me some positive energy, I would really appreciate it. Some sparkly hearts or something would be wonderful. All right, now let us talk about reading. So the first book I planned to read this week was this one, Theatre Nights Are Murder. Fantastic that I'm not having too many issues with the ring light. It's about time. By Libby Klein. This is book number 4 in the Poppy McAllister mystery series, and I have now finished this book. I finished it today. It was a chunker for a cozy. It is about 380 odd pages, which is huge for a cozy, and I felt it towards the end, I must say, I'm not going to lie. I felt the length, and they're just going to get longer, so I just have to be prepared for that. Do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. So I end up docking a 0.5 star for the length because it felt too long. I started feeling drained by the end, but that is what it is. But everything else I absolutely loved. So the basic premise of this book is that we continue to follow Poppy McAllister, her Aunt Ginny, and her Aunt Ginny's rather eclectic bunch of elderly women that are referred to as the Biddies. And the Biddies have signed on to do a play at the senior centre, and they're going to do Mamma Mia. Aunt Ginny's old flame and ex-boyfriend rocks up, and so that creates a little bit of drama, very interesting. And then one morning they come in to rehearse, and one of the most beloved actors who is there is found dead on the stage, and because everyone loved him, they are incredibly motivated to try and solve the murder, so off they go to do that. I loved the cozy side of this. I love anything to do with acting, being on the stage, any of that, and Libby Klein took me through it all and just gave me everything I wanted with this book, which is so fantastic because I did not like book 1 at all. It's not a secret if you followed me long enough. I did not like book 1. Then book 2 I liked, book 3 I loved, book 4 I love even more because of that subject matter. I love acting and being on stage and all that stuff, and Libby Klein did an amazing job. One thing I haven't liked up until this book is that Poppy is not exactly thin. That's very much detailed throughout the series so far, and I don't like that we have to continue to discuss that, but she's gone on a diet because she wants to lose weight, and it seems to really metaphorically weigh me down every time it's brought up. In this book, I won't say who, but Poppy ends up approaching someone who is rather close to her, who says to her, there is no reason for you to lose weight unless you want to. You're putting so much pressure on yourself. You are already so beautiful. There is really no need. I really appreciated that this came up because it was just annoying me. It gives the impression that big is not necessarily beautiful, and I don't agree with that. I think, look, I'm not going to weigh in too heavily on this, but I just want to say that when it comes to the issue of losing weight, if someone wants to, great, I'm happy to support them. If they don't want to and they're content being the size they are, that's great too, and I'm going to celebrate that too. So it kind of annoyed me up to this book, but when that character said, you don't need to do anything, you are already beautiful, that just got me right here. So thank you, Libby Klein. I really appreciated that. The ending, the reveal, multiple reveals. We got a reveal, and I was listening to this on audiobook, and the audiobook narrator, I don't remember who it is, but she did an amazing job. The reveal came, and there was still 45 minutes left of the audiobook, and I'm going, this is really strange, because I'm so used to, I've been talking to you all about this recently, that the reveal in cozies tends to happen like a couple of pages, or 5 to 10 minutes before the end of the book. If we're lucky, sometimes it's like 2 to 3 minutes before the end of a book, but this one came 45 minutes before the end of the book, and I'm thinking, this is really interesting that Libby Klein is revealing the murderer before, like at the 45-minute mark. And then I realized what she was doing. It was from that 45 minutes left mark to the end, it was reveal after 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 reveal, and it went on and on and on. It was so good. I lapped up every single moment of each and every single reveal. It was fantastic. Now, something interesting as well about this series is when it comes to me and reading, so not so typical for me, I am not a fan of love triangles. I just don't like them, and when they continue to progress throughout a series, it just really annoys me. I feel like it detracts from the plot, and yeah, it's just something that I'm not a fan of. But in this series, for some reason, it works for me, and I think that is because to this point, well, at least in this book anyway, we were more focused on one of the love interests and not both. Both of them were in here, but we were more focused only on one, and so I appreciated that. And if we flip the script and in the next one we focus more on the other one, then I think I'll be fine with it too. It's just that if we spend the same amount of time on both of them, it kind of annoys me because it's just a bit too much. But I gave it 4.5 stars. The only reason I docked a 0.5 star was because it was a bit too long for me for a cozy mystery. I've read tomes before. I read fantasy, so I read Sanderson. So, I mean, a double tome, a triple tome is fine for me. But with a cozy, part of that cozy aspect for me is that they are shorter books. So I didn't like that, but I loved everything else. I hope you enjoyed that detailed review. But yeah, just finished that today. So I finished my first book. Yay for the month. I plan to read 8 books this month, so we'll see how we go. On that, very quickly before I show you what I'm going to read next, I said in my November TBR that the final book I plan to read is the 6th book in the Animorphs series by K.A. Applegate. I've been umming and ahhing ever since I filmed that video because I don't know if I want to go back into Animorphs or not. So just a bit of a heads up, I may replace that book with something else. I might actually replace it with the first book I plan to read in December from this very series. So I think I'm reading book 5 so this is book 4. I think I'm reading book 5 this month, and then I think I'll read then book 6 at the end of this month, and then read book 7 to wrap up the series as the first book I read in December, and then the rest can be Christmas reads and whatever else. But yeah, I don't know, I don't feel in the mood to read Animorphs, so there you go. I don't know, maybe I could read Harry Potter. Who knows? Anyway, let's now take a look at the next book that I plan to read, which is this one. Marriage Can Be Mischief by Amanda Flower. This is book number 3 in the Amish Matchmaker series. I have not started it yet. I just have the bookmark in there, so I'm ready to go. It's on chapter 1, and I'm excited to get into this book because this series, Amish Matchmaker, is the compromise for me being done with Amish Candy Shop. I cannot believe I am done with Candy Shop until the next one comes out. I cannot believe I'm up to date. Part of me is like, yay, I did it. I started from basically nothing and made my way all through the series, and I'm now up to date. Yay, that is a win. I acknowledge that. But then comes the grieving period of having to wait. And I get it, because some of y'all have been waiting longer than I have. So I get it, and I miss them already. But at least I have this series to keep me going. And yeah, even though we're following predominantly Millie and Lois, Bailey and Emily and Charlotte and Bailey's grandmother and all that appear in the books. So it's a good compromise. Now, very interestingly, I was talking about the 4th book in this series in a recent video. I don't remember which one, but I have an update. I actually looked on Goodreads. Apparently, the 4th book in this series, the physical book, is not going to be available till December anyway, late December. I think it's like December 23rd or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's in December. So if that's the case, of course I won't be able to listen to the audiobook because the audiobook generally comes out a little bit after the physical. So unless I were to read it in like the last week of December, which honestly I would have no problem doing, then I don't think there's any way I could catch up anyway. But yeah, looking forward to this one. This has been a long introduction, so I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying a nice cup of hot cocoa or tea or coffee if you prefer, and having a nice time by the fire. We're about to go into summer here. So what season are you about to go into? That is in December, so next month. I am so looking forward to the warmer weather. I get jealous when I see the snow that you all have over in America. I know you're probably sick of it if you live there, but for me, an outsider looking in, looking at all that beautiful snow is gorgeous. So if you have any pictures you want to put up of snow, my Discord is linked in the description. Come along over to my Discord and put up some pictures of snow because I love that. And I have a question for you all. What are you planning on doing for Christmas? Have any good Christmas ideas? I know I'm getting in early, but hey, why the heck not? Or hey, why not Thanksgiving? That's earlier. Any good plans for Thanksgiving, reading or otherwise? Let me know. All right, because it's Tuesday today, I will now check in with you on Thursday. I'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, as opposed to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'll see you on Thursday. Let you know how this baby's going. Until then, mwah. It is now Thursday, so welcome back. I'll get into reading and all that in just a moment. Spoiler alert, I'm not enjoying my current read, which if you'd asked me before I started, which I think I actually alluded to this on Tuesday, I was really looking forward to it. We'll get into that in a moment. Let's talk what's going on outside of reading. Work-wise, finished training yesterday and went into that new department today. And it was a stressful day, I have to say. I thought I went into the department fully prepared after all the training that I'd done, and oh my gosh, I was just blown away by a million and one things. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, I'll just say that it was a very stressful day today. And a lot of things that I expected, I don't think I could have been any more wrong, and that's of course stressful too when you feel like you come in to any situation fully prepared and everything that you are fully prepared for turns out to be completely incorrect. It can become very stressful, so that's kind of how it was. But it is what it is. I'm going to put my giant Gilmore Girls-sized coffee mug down. I love this mug. Just a side note, since it is a reading vlog, I found this mug somewhere. I don't know, it was somewhere random. In America, you'll call it a mall. We call it a shopping centre here in Australia. But yeah, I went to my local mall, I think it was a couple of years ago now. And I love Gilmore Girls. For those of you who don't know of the show, I highly recommend it. It's so good. Don't talk to me about A Year in the Life, that whole movie thing, whatever that was, those 4 episodes I came back for. Yeah, no. But the show itself, the original, I love. And Lorelai, who is the mother, played by the incredibly talented Lauren Graham, loves coffee so much. And when she goes to the local diner, she has a massive coffee cup about this size. And yeah, so I went to the mall, I saw this, and I went, oh my gosh, I need this. And I've had it on me ever since, and it's so great. I can barely wrap my hands around it. That's how big it is. Alright, so that's kind of how work is at the moment. It's tough when you go through all this training, and as I say, you feel like you're fully prepared, and then you go to start in this new department, this new area, and nothing is how you thought it was going to be. So, I don't know, that is what it is. Crochet-wise, currently working on a green row at the moment, so that's pretty cool. The actual blanket is in my room, so I'll show you that another time. But, so that's going well, I guess. Let's quickly talk a bit about TV. I don't believe I brought this up on Tuesday, so I'm going to talk about it now. I got into a show recently, and it's called The Traitors. So this is an Australian show that is very similar to The Mole, which was a show that I was binging, I think it was like last week or something. Anyway, so yeah, I have gotten into The Traitors, really, really enjoying it, and having a lot of fun. I highly recommend checking it out. I don't know if you can stream it everywhere, but if you can, and you like The Mole, I recommend The Traitors. At least get through the first episode, that's what I'll say. Get through the first episode, because the rest I found to be amazing. The first episode took me a while to get into. Alright, now let's talk reading. I'm going to show you with the physical book where I'm up to, and then I'll put it up on the screen because it'll just be easier. So, yeah, reading Marriage Can Be Mischief by Amanda Flower. This is book number 3? Yes, 3 in Amish Matchmaker series. I am there, which is page 168. Alright, let's put it up on the screen. Marriage Can Be Mischief by Amanda Flower. It's just easier with the ring light to have it on the screen. So, yeah, I was telling you all earlier, in this portion of the reading vlog that I'm not enjoying it, and that I'll tell you in a detailed way why, so let's do it. Okay, first thing that I'll say is that the crossover between Matchmaker and Candy Shop is nowhere near as big as it was in the second book in this series, in the Matchmaker series, and so that did let me down. Of course, we have, you know, the biddies of the quilting circle double-stitched, and so that does include Ruth Yoda, so I appreciate that. Of course, because it is Matchmaker, Lois is there, and I love Lois. She's our protagonist Millie's best friend. I've said for a while Lois carries the series. I still think that. I said recently that I've grown to love Millie. I still do. But for those of you who don't know, Millie is our protagonist. She is an Amish woman. Lois is her best friend. Lois is not Amish, and so she's referred to as an Englisher. And in the main series, which is Amish Candy Shop, we follow a woman who is an Englisher named Bailey King, who works at the candy store in Harvest, Ohio, Swissman Sweets. Millie, in this series, she has a job, and honestly, I don't like how sparing Amanda Flower is with the details of this job. Now, y'all, if you don't know, if you do know me, you know this already. If you don't know me, I'm going to say it right now. Amanda Flower has very quickly become my all-time favorite female author. So I feel like with her being my favorite female author that I can, you know, say when I have an issue, if there is a con there, because otherwise I do love her. But this series is called the Amish Matchmaker series, and the reason it's called that is because our protagonist Millie is known as the Amish Matchmaker. She tends to know if two people are each other's perfect match, basically, and her job, I believe, is to counsel these two people, to try and assist them with the match and all of that, and I think that that is wonderful, and I think if we focused on that a heck of a lot more, that I would enjoy the series a heck of a lot more, because it's literally called the Amish Matchmaker series, but we really don't focus on it. It's more alluded to. So, to give an example, we'll come across a character, I'm just going to pull a random name out of the air. Let's say we come across a character whose name is Wendy. Millie would be thinking to herself internally, oh, and that was Wendy, and I knew that Wendy, her perfect match was Jonathan, and I knew this because I'd seen them together many times. I'd even spoken to Wendy about this before, but we don't see this happen. So it's more delivered in an expositional type way, as opposed to us being able to see her do her matchmaker stuff. And that just really annoys me. But let's specifically focus on this book, Marriage Can Be Mischief, and another reason why I'm not enjoying this book. And that is the mystery side. The mystery is just, it's just not my thing. I'm not someone who likes to solve cold cases. It just, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't interest me. And especially if it is a cold case that is fictional, it doesn't interest me. Because it's, you know, it's historic. It's a history type of case. It's not one that's from present day. I mean, in present day we're trying to solve it, but the case we're trying to solve is something that occurred so long ago that I do not know this matchmaker / candy shop, Harvest, Ohio, fictional world. I don't know the world from that time, and so I don't at all connect to the mystery. But we have a character in this particular series whose name is Uriah, Uriah's sister, I think. I'm still trying to work out what is even going on, honestly, but I think it was that Uriah's sister went missing or something, and so we're trying to find out what's going on with that, but it happened such a long time ago, they weren't able to solve the case, and now it's just been dug back up, and we're trying to solve that. As I say, it just doesn't interest me at all, and there are a lot of mysteries within cozies that I gravitate towards, but this is just not one of them, so I'm really thriving off of the cozy side of this book, but the mystery side, it's just not doing it for me. As for the cozy side, we get to know one of Millie's nephews quite well, and I'm trying to remember his name.
and for the life of me, I can't remember his name, so don't mind me. But yeah, we slowly through the course of this series, we're getting to know Millie, who has no children, her sister's children, and it's been good to get to know these children. But one of them ends up going with Millie to purchase something because he had saved up his money and he wanted to buy something for himself for all the hard work that he had done. And it was just a beautiful moment between the two of them. They end up bicycling together to the local store where he wants to make the purchase, and then he's incredibly secretive about the purchase. He doesn't want Millie going into the store with him, and when he comes back out of the store, he is reluctant to show her what he purchased. In the end, he does. But I just thought it was so adorable. I'm not going to reveal what it was because it was just so adorable that I'll let you be surprised when you see it at the time. But yeah, I was just like, oh, it's so good getting to know this guy, this kid, because, you know, he's a character that is a part of the series that we don't really know that well up until this point. We only know from more of an observational perspective, but now we get to know a lot more about him because Millie is having a lot more time with him, a lot more one-on-one time with him. So I appreciate that. But yeah, it's just really not working for me, which is so sad because I did like book 2. Book 1, I wasn't a big fan of, I'll be honest, but I liked book 2, so I thought things were getting better, but unfortunately to this point, not so much. So my goal is to try and have this book finished by the end of the weekend. We'll see how things go. I've just been really, really busy with work. It's been non-stop work. So I'm lucky if I get any reading time at the end of the workday, if I'm not too exhausted. But I know that I'll be able to make up for that on the weekend, and the next time I'll check in with you, it will be the weekend, it'll be Saturday, so we'll get to talk then. Alright everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful week, I hope you're enjoying the longer reading vlogs, and I'll catch you on Saturday. Mwah! Happy reading! Okay, I'm hoping everyone can hear me. I'm outside because the weather has just improved so much. Oh my gosh. So, in case you didn't know, before we get on to today's reading update, we've had a lot of flooding that has been going on in Melbourne. Yeah, we've had a lot of flooding and it's just gotten worse and worse because we've had a lot of rain, so obviously it's contributed to the flooding. But currently we just have the most beautiful weather and I just couldn't miss out on taking an opportunity to just be outside in the beautiful weather. So let's get into reading, shall we? Alright, we're going to start off by putting Matchmaking Can Be Mischief up on the screen. Okay, so this is book number 3 in the Amish Matchmaker series by Amanda Flower, and it is the latest book in this series to be available. Book 4 is coming out in late December this year. So I have confirmed that, which is good. Okay, look, I have to say, I finished this book today, which is good, and I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, and it really, like I was saying to you all on Thursday, it was for the same reason. The mystery just did not work for me at all. I'm just not someone who likes cold cases, so it just wasn't my jam. It just didn't work for me. And it's a personal preference thing. Some people love cold cases, and those who do would probably really love this book. I don't, because I find it hard to connect with a mystery about characters that I don't know, or characters that I haven't met before, because, you know, we don't always know the victim in a cozy, but at least we've met them, or heard of them, or know something about them before they died. Where in the case of a cold case, if we don't know the characters, we don't know them, we learn more about them as time goes on, and that's just something that just doesn't work for me, especially considering how invested I am in the characters of Harvest, Ohio. So, there you go. But on the cozy side, I already spoke about the nephew, spoke about that on Thursday. I now have his name, it's Micah. Yeah, and really loved getting to know Micah. I think that was one of the biggest highlights for me. I was going to give the book 3 stars, but I bumped it up to 3.5 because the reveal was actually really good. Yeah, it really shocked me, and I was incredibly blown away by the reveal. So I had to bump it up. But it wouldn't feel right for me to give the book 4 stars because it just didn't feel like a 4-star read. So I compromised and gave it 3.5 as opposed to 3. But yeah, I thought it was okay, an average read for me, and that was mainly due to the mystery side. So we'll see how things go when Honeymoons Can Be Murder comes out in December. We'll see how that does go. But for anyone wanting to know how much of the characters that we love from Candy Shop make an appearance in this book, it is incredibly minimal compared to other books. So just be wary of that if you're going into this, what I call sister series of Amish Candy Shop, that we don't get a lot at all of anything to do with the Amish Candy Shop side of things. But otherwise, it was okay. 3.5 stars. So now let's put Death of a Coupon Clipper by Lee Hollis up on the screen. And this is the next book I'm going to read. I was going to start it today, but I did run out of time. So I'm going to start that tomorrow. And because of that, I'm going to do a shorter vlog entry today. But I will check in with you all again tomorrow. So, yeah. I'll come back one last time tomorrow and discuss how things are going with this book. I am so looking forward to getting back into the Hayley Powell Food and Cocktail Mystery Series because I love this series so much, you guys. I call this my fun series. It always just brings a smile to my face when I'm reading it, and I really enjoy it. You know, different cozy series and indeed different book series, whether they're cozies or not, I love for different reasons. But with the Hayley Powell Food and Cocktail series, it's literally, I just have fun with this series. It just makes me happy. It puts me in the best mood. And I don't know if it's the setting, the characters, or a combination of both. But it's just a series that I really enjoy. I feel like, I don't know, my inner child really enjoys it. So that's how that goes. But yeah. Also finished with work for the week. Really, really happy about that. Yeah, didn't enjoy Thursday, being the first day after training, and Friday wasn't too much better. I think, yeah, so yesterday, I think I'm getting a little more used to things now. But, you know, yeah, it's interesting. We'll leave it at that. But, yeah, I think all in all, it's been a great reading week, and despite giving 3.5 stars to Marriage Can Be Mischief, I still enjoyed that cozy side, so that's good, and looking forward to reading Death of a Coupon Clipper tomorrow, or beginning it tomorrow anyway. Alright, happy reading everyone, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye! It is Sunday, which means it is time to wrap up this week's extra long reading vlog. Before I get into the update for today and wrapping everything up for the week, let me know in the comments below if you've been enjoying the longer duration time. Be honest, if you weren't enjoying it, let me know that and I'll know to cut it down next time. And if you were enjoying it, I'll keep it up for next week. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Alright, a couple of things to update you on. First of all, I finally have my hands around a gingerbread latte. I am so happy. Oh my gosh, if y'all have been with me long enough, then you would know that I had an issue. We have a Starbucks that's really close to our house, which isn't common, and yet I just got lucky. Like, it's literally a 2 to 3 minute drive away from here. And in October, they brought back the pumpkin spice latte. They trialed it last year, and I loved the pumpkin spice latte last year. When I finally got down there to get a pumpkin spice latte, it had only been 8 days into the promotion, and they were already out of pumpkin spice Australia-wide. This had me incredibly upset. So I was determined, oh my gosh, like a dog with a bone. I was so determined to get myself a gingerbread latte before they ran out. The gingerbread lattes came out on Friday. Today is Sunday, and I thought, let's just see. I got down there, they had them. I ordered 2. Shamelessly ordered 2. I have never so proudly made an order in my life. I went up to the counter and said to the lady, I would like to order 2 large gingerbread lattes, please. And then we were talking about the pumpkin spice latte and all that, and she goes, yeah, I know, we ran out so quickly, but yeah, we should have, we have extra gingerbread stuff this time, so hopefully I can have more than just 2. We'll see how we go, but it is just so good. It's so cinnamony. It reminds me of Christmas, which is just perfect for me. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here. I wish we did. I get why we don't, because it's an American holiday and I respect that. But the giving thanks side of the holiday, I wish we celebrated that here, because, I mean, it's one holiday per year that celebrates gratitude and things that you're grateful for. So I wish that we could adopt that here in Australia. But the next big thing is going to be Christmas. So I'm celebrating. All right, now I'm going to quickly show you my crochet blanket. I am ahead of where I thought I would be, which is wonderful. So let's take a quick look. So there we are. I can now move that out of the way. So I have done 5 rows and I'm working on my 6th one. I'm ahead of where I wanted to be, which is excellent. Yeah, otherwise, quickly just want to talk about TV because I've been basically binging shows. All of the shows that I had as a monthly goal for this month, they've all kind of been curbed to the side. I binged the US season of The Mole that was on Netflix recently, and then my mum told me there's a similar show we have here in Australia called The Traitors, and I binged that, a couple of nights ago, and so that they'll be having 2 more episodes coming up, one tonight, one tomorrow, so I'll definitely be watching that. And over the course of the past couple of days, because, you know, it's been nice. From Friday night onwards, I wasn't working, so I got to relax. I've been binging, we'll put it up on the screen, The Nanny, starring the amazing Fran Drescher. I love her as an actress. I love this series so much. I'm nearly done with season 3 and about to start season 4. So it's been a great weekend for me, filled with a lot of fun, and yeah, I really enjoyed my time watching it, and I'm about to get up to season 4, which is so good. I don't remember how many seasons there are, but man, I wonder if I'll be through the entire series over the course of, what would it be, like 4 nights or something? I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, let's talk reading. Death of a Coupon Clipper. I'm about to put it up on the screen, but I just want to show you where I'm at. I am currently there, which is, I'm up to chapter 16, page 153. Okay, so before I get into the premise, I just want to tell you that I have made a fascinating discovery for myself. I have known for the longest time that this series, I have one word that I associate with it, and that is fun. This is just a fun series. It puts a smile on my face. But you know what? Despite the fact that I knew that, what I didn't know was why. What made this series so much fun? I mean, I love many different cozy mystery series, but what makes this one stand out as just being fun for me? And I think I've cracked the case. See what I did there? I think I've cracked the case, and I think the answer for me is because the murder or the mystery, whatever the mystery is, it's not always a murder, doesn't take place for a very long time. So this book has 40 chapters in it, and it took until the end of chapter 10 before we discovered what the mystery was. And the rest of that time, so from chapter 1 through to the 3/4 mark of chapter 10, I was just, you know, getting back into things, being reintroduced to Hayley Powell, our protagonist, and just following her on her journey and what she's doing and all those sorts of things. So there you go. Which does tie into the premise. So let me discuss the premise of this one with you. Haley is experiencing some rotten luck at the moment. Her children, she's a single mother. Her children are with their father, her ex-husband. They've gone away somewhere, and Haley's come home to an extremely cold house. She finds out that the furnace is on the fritz, which is unfortunate. Her garage roof seems to be caving in, and if that's not tough enough, her car is now no longer roadworthy. Something happened. I don't remember exactly what happened to the car, but something happened. And so she's in a lot of strife and has a lot of expensive bills that are about to come her way. So how is she going to deal with this? Her brother, who I love her brother for so many reasons, he's just such a great guy. But also, I need to give a shout out to male representation. Haley Powell's brother is gay. Not a big deal is made about it, which I love. I love when any author normalizes being gay. I've read a lot of YA fiction in the past, and it just seems like being gay is such a big deal, and I don't like reading that's such a big deal. But I love in this series that Lee Hollis have just made it, it is what it is. It kind of reminds me of Will and Grace. I remember, just quickly, watching an interview with, I don't remember his name, Matt Mushnick or something. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. But anyway, the director and the screenwriter of the show, they were saying one of the things that we wanted to capture right from the pilot episode was establishing that we have two gay characters in the show, Will and Grace, and that it's just normal. There will be no coming out or anything at all. It's just they are gay. That's accepted. Let's move on. And I love that about any type of show or any type of book where it's just seen as normal and not a big deal. But yeah, I love her brother. He's just such a great guy. So her brother recommends that she ask her mother for a loan because her mother has a lot of money, and her mother turns her down. Then she has to go to the hospital because an elderly woman that Haley has a lot of love for, as do a lot of people in the town, she ended up being in an accident, and while she is there looking out for the elderly woman, no, actually, that's wrong. We have two people that ended up in hospital. Okay, Haley's boyfriend, his employer ended up, he's not doing so well, and he's unconscious at the moment, and we don't know if he's going to wake up. And so her boyfriend is at the hospital. Haley goes to be a shoulder for him to lean on. And while she's there, she decides to go down to the cafeteria to get him some food. While she's at the cafeteria, an old high school, I don't know if we'd call her friend, but athletic jock by the name of Candace is there. She's an RN, a nurse at the moment, and she's on her dinner break, I think. And Candace and her friend, another nurse, are discussing this coupon clipping competition, which is where the title comes from. A reality show is going to come to their town to film one episode, and people can apply. So Haley decides what a great way to make some money so she can pay for all those expenses, so she's going to apply for the show. She does, and eventually we find out that only 2 spots are vacant for this reality show, 2 contestants, and the 2 that are chosen are Haley and Candace. Candace and Haley do not get on at all, and to make matters even more interesting, one of Haley's best friends has been told that she's a runner-up, so if one of the 2 can't make it to film the episode, that she would fill in. And then one night, not long before the show is due to start filming, Candace is found dead with scissors sticking out of her back. And so, now it's a race against time to find out what the heck's going on. But, yeah, I just need to again say that I love how much fun this series is. The first 9 and a quarter, 3/4 chapters is just so incredibly cozy that I find myself forgetting I'm even reading a cozy mystery. I feel like I'm maybe reading a romance or an easy-to-read contemporary. By that I mean I've read a ton of contemporaries that have really hard-hitting themes to them, but I'm just referring to like nice, sweet, easy contemporary or romance reads. And that's what the first quarter of the book really reads like, and as do the others. So if you're looking for something that is on the extreme cozy side, I highly recommend this series. At the moment, it's a 5-star read for me, but time will tell what it ends up being as I continue on into next week. So let's wrap up what I have been reading this week, and then I'll talk about what I'm reading next week, and then we'll close out the incredibly long reading vlog for this week. All right, so the first book that I read this week was this book, Theatre Nights Are Murder. This is book number 4 in the Poppy McAllister mystery series, and by Libby Klein. I gave it 4.5 stars, so it was a great start for me. The second book that I read was this one, which is Marriage Can Be Mischief by Amanda Flower, book number 3 in the Amish Matchmaker series, and I ended up giving this book 3.5 stars. The mystery side just did not work for me, but other than that, I enjoyed the cozy side, so that's good. And I'm currently reading this book, as we all know, which is Death of a Coupon Clipper by Lee Hollis, book number 3 in the Hayley Powell Food and Cocktail Mystery series, and I'm enjoying it so far. So now let's take a look at what I plan to read for the coming week. Okay, so looking on into next week, and obviously my first goal is to complete my current read, Death of a Coupon Clipper by Lee Hollis. Once that is done, I plan to pick up this book, Wine Tastings Are Murder by Libby, I believe it's by Libby Klein, book number 5 in the Poppy McAllister mystery series. This series is the one that I'm furthest away from completing, that I know I'll complete by the end of the year, so I have a number of Poppy McAllister books on my TBR this month. If I end up getting through both of those books by the end of the week, then I'll pick up my next read, which will be this book, Books Can Be Deceiving, by Jen McKinley, I believe is her name. I don't have it in front of me, I'm so sorry. You can see it, I can't. It's book number 1 in the Library Lovers mystery series. I was planning on reading this earlier, but I ended up deciding to mix up my TBR a bit because I have 3 Hayley Powell series, so I decided to make it a bit more evenly spread, if that makes sense. But anyway, I've gone more than over time in just this snippet of the reading vlog, so yeah, please do let me know in the comments below. I am more than happy to keep having longer and longer and longer reading vlogs and checking in more days and all that stuff, if that's what you'll want. If you would prefer it to be shorter, let me know that too. I'll go off what you guys are saying. But in the meantime, I hope you've had an amazing reading week. Letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah! Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading! Bye everyone!